560 The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. As we have been talking about for the last several weeks, 2 years since SCOTUS overturned Roe, we're still waiting to find out who leaked the Dobbs decision. We'll learn that right after the owner of the cocaine is revealed. But
they're on it, Dan.
With it was going to be this with the big guy as well, but with Kamala, there's a particular sharpness to the focus on abortion on demand, all 9 months, taxpayer funded, of federalizing, going back and federalizing the issue. I mean, putting term limits on the Supreme Court. You know, the fallout and over the top reaction from the left from Dobbs forward has really not subsided. And of course, the left is encouraged to stay as radically pro-abortion as they can because they believe this is why they were able to avoid, a midterm
red wave.
Yeah, a midterm red wave, and this is why they think they won some special elections. And if they can continue to whip up Connie Britton and all those p-hats on the Zoom call, then they think this is their path to victory. And Kamala certainly believes that. We believe something different, as you all know, and we've been promoting an organization called PreBorn for the last several weeks because they have a campaign going on that's really important, and it has nothing to do with partisan politics. It has to do with saving lives. PreBorn provides ultrasounds for mothers facing crisis pregnancies. And just to repeat, the cost of an ultrasound is just $28. That's all. That's all it takes to save the life of a baby. For a gift of $140, you can do that for 5 moms and their babies. And if you're someone with the means to give a gift of $15,000, that's how much it costs to purchase an ultrasound machine that would save the lives of thousands of babies for years to come. PreBorn, this is the last day of the campaign that we're running together. So we want to just put a fine point on it. To get involved with PreBorn and saving lives, you go to 560theanswer.com/preborn. It's all one word, PreBorn. 560theanswer.com/PREBORN, or you call 833-850-BABY. That's 833-850-2229. And for more on this, we're pleased to be joined by the spokesman for PreBorn in studio with us. He is Scott Wilder. Scott, thanks for being with us.
No, it's a great pleasure. It's great to be in studio. You got a great studio. I love this studio. It feels like home.
It's an open concept that we've been working
on.
Oh,
it's great. Yeah,
there's
a really fantastic.
Certain feng shui to
it
it
is.
all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm glad you appreciate our digs.
Oh, listen, man, no place feels as comfortable for me. I used to be on that side of the microphone for a whole bunch of time, and nothing.
You do have that radio voice.
You sound.
It's just that I'm old. That's all it means. But nothing feels as comfortable as a studio, and nothing feels more comfortable than a great studio. And you guys have it going on, so I love it. I know I'll be kicked out in a few minutes, but I'm loving every minute of it. So.
Well, I mean, just to give us a little bit more background on PreBorn for the folks, since again this is the last day of the campaign. 833-850-BABY. 560theanswer.com/preborn. The ultrasounds is key, and remind people what we know about women who see the ultrasound if they're otherwise abortion-minded, and then just more on what PreBorn does.
It really is remarkable. The statistics are remarkable. More than 83% of the time, a girl who sees her baby, hears her baby's heartbeat, she'll choose life. I mean, you don't have to convince her of anything. Nobody's twisting any arms, just providing the truth at the most important time in her life. And $28 provides one ultrasound. $28 a month can save a baby a month for less than $1 a day. And 100% of what you give today on our last day goes directly to providing ultrasounds. And 100% say, how could that be? Because I know you got overhead. It's true. But we separately fundraise for overhead and administrative so that on the radio we can say, whatever you do today, 100% goes to providing ultrasound. It all began 18 years ago. If you're familiar with Mayflower trucking, the over-the-road trucking, anything, any domestic good that was delivered in the lower 48, this guy who ended up founding PreBorn, a guy named Dan Steiner, That was under his purview. He was in charge of all of that.
Wow.
Very successful executive. Then just got burdened about this issue and tried to figure out what is the thing we can do. Is it marching? Is it lobbying? What is it? Advertising to tell people what it is? And it just came to him. Just take it right to the person who's going to make the decision. Make sure she has every piece of information and the truth that is found in an ultrasound. The reason the ultrasounds are so powerful is because it's the truth. And the truth is so powerful because the lie has been so pervasive that it's not a baby. I mean, that other side has the money, the momentum, the media, has all the stars, the celebrities, everybody pushing in that other direction. But once a girl sees her baby, hears her baby's heartbeat, things change. Her heart has changed. And it doesn't matter. I mean, I come from the great state of Texas, and we obviously are very conservative on this issue as a legal matter, as a matter of law. And I'm glad when any state decides to have the law reflect our respect for life. However, it's not going to change anything. If a girl is really intent on having an abortion, she's going to have an abortion. And I don't think so much that women are generally, or girls are generally abortion-minded as they are perhaps abortion vulnerable. They're vulnerable to the lie that it's not a baby. They're desperate, don't know what they're going to do, and that is a convenient untruth that it is not a baby.
Speaking of lies, I mean, I keep hearing from Governor Newsom, countless talking heads on cable news saying the right is lying that we do not offer abortions at 9 months or on the baby's due date.
It's not. I mean, look at what Ohio did. Ohio said we want to be like California. I mean, last November they said we're gonna put as part of our state constitution the right of a woman to choose abortion for any possible reason, not just rape, incest, life, or even health of the mother, for any reason, up until the moment a child is born. That means literally, as a woman is giving birth, she can say, no, I changed my mind. That is the case right now in California, New York, New Jersey. We certainly have. There's a reason why people weren't making up the idea of the Born Alive Infant Protection Act. It was because people were saying she intended to have an abortion. It was a botched abortion. Botched abortion means the baby was born alive. What do we do now?
Well, we know this in Illinois because Jill Stanek was the heroine of that movement and that legislation here in at Christ Hospital in Oak Lawn. Mm-hmm. That's exactly she witnessed it,
and we know that it happens. And so that's just a lie, an absolute lie. What I say is you can't be pro-woman and be against women having the truth. And with PreBorn, we take $0 government dollars. We charge $0 for our services. All we have is what people do when they participate. Unlike Planned Parenthood, that gets hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars. On top of that, they charge for their services. On top of that, you've seen maybe the Sarah McLachlan-esque ads that are 2.5 minutes long on some cable TV channels saying, hey, we're standing for you. Please join us at $19 a month. I mean, they're taking donations, they're getting taxpayer dollars, and they're charging for their services. No. We only have what people join us today on our last day and provide those ultrasounds. We had somebody just yesterday, actually it was in Detroit, give an ultrasound machine. We got 69 of those given last year. That's more than one a week. A long time ago, I thought, nobody's going to do this. It's $15,000. I can't do it. Nobody can do it. But then I saw last year we placed 69. That's more than one a week. And then I just thought, I'm just going to say it. I mean, somebody's going to hear it that maybe that's you. You say, I'm sick and tired of all this, man. I want to make a difference. We waited a long time for the right president at the right time, with the right Congress, the right court, the right mood, do the right thing, and that's going to fix it all. And look where we are today. The demand for abortions is greater than ever. Abortion trafficking from Indiana into Illinois, from Texas into any other place. Gavin Newsom, I may have mentioned to you before, Gavin Newsom bought billboard space in Texas, and the billboards read, having trouble getting an abortion here, come to California.
Yeah,
so it's a sick thing.
Well,
anyway,
and Pritzker here with his
2 days ago on
his
the headlines.
huge campaign, right? I mean, and everything does is huge.
He's auditioning for Kamala. That's what.
Yeah, right. But I mean, he's funding this pro-abortion
No question.
nationally because he is a ghoul, just like Patrick Bateman, the governor of California, is.
And there's talk of offering free rides from women from Iowa into Illinois to get abortions.
If that isn't trafficking, I don't know what trafficking is. So today, I mean, it really is just us. The old Edmund Burke quote, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good people to do nothing. It doesn't take us taking that other side. It just takes us doing nothing. And so if you've always felt like, well, my what I think couldn't make a difference, maybe politically that can feel that way sometime. This is not politics. This is a matter of the heart. It's our last day. And so we hope you'll join us in providing one ultrasound or 2 or 5 or 10, and know that you're doubling the chance a young girl will choose life. And at the very least, you're giving her the truth. I've always said that even if you're pro-choice, you should be for girls and women having the truth as they make this decision. So I think it's for everybody. Everybody should want to do this, and I hope everybody will, because today is our last day, and we're excited about it. And again, I love just the chance to be with you guys.
560theanswer.com/preborn or 833-850-BABY. It's just on the topic of the lies that provide for the rationalizations. One of the other ones, and this sort of was introduced yesterday, generally speaking, not specific to abortion, but is that this is just a movement of faith-based Americans, or probably more pejoratively like evangelical Christians,
Sure.
the religious right, the radical religious right, Christo-fascist, you've heard all the terms.
Sure.
And it was interesting, Trump recognized my friend Brian Birch's organization, Catholic Vote, yesterday. A large group of Catholics launching a major political campaign against crazy Kamala Harris, finally. Catholics are literally being persecuted by this whack job. Just ask the Knights of Columbus, true. They say she is the most anti-Catholic person ever to run for high office in the United States. And he goes on. And it's sort of the same thing on this issue. It's not even, I mean, the lie is that this is all faith-based. It's significant. And obviously, a lot of people of faith are pro-life and provide the backbone of the pro-life movement. But as you were sort of getting to, and I think this is an important point, I mean, you can be of no particular faith tradition or even hostile to faith and still just from a common sense, almost secular humanist perspective, come to the same conclusion that pro-lifers do.
My favorite teacher in high school was my Algebra 2 teacher, Mrs. Chancellor, and she was a spindly woman, kind of gruff. She had a phrase that now my children, my kids that are in their 30s and late 20s could mimic back to you, because I told them this all the time growing up. Immediately obvious to the most casual observer. She never meant it as a compliment when she said it to me, Mr. Wilder. That should have been immediately obvious to the most casual observer.
Right.
But that's what I think of when I think of this. When you see the baby on the ultrasound, when you hear the baby's heartbeat, it becomes immediately obvious to the most casual observer. And I'll tell you something. You don't have to be a person of any particular faith or any faith at all to be a person who loves the truth. This is just about what is true and what is not true. That's all it's about. So, yeah, some people are attracted to it because it fits in with a particular faith tradition they have. But some people, I've talked to some in the last 12 hours, have no particular faith tradition, and yet they know this is true. So this is not a matter of, are you a Baptist or Methodist or Catholic or Jew or what? This is simply, do you understand what is true? When you see it before your eyes, are you able to say, that is undeniable, or it is immediately obvious to the most casual observer? We believe it is. Has nothing to do with your faith. If you're motivated by faith, that's great. Look, some people are motivated by faith to dig wells and purify water, build cinder block houses, feed the hungry, clothe the naked. Some people are motivated just because they like to do good things. It's just good to do good. And in this case, this is just a matter of what's true. No matter what your motivation is, are you clinging to what you know to be true, and are you advancing it? And today's our last day to do that together.
So we have the DNC coming up in a few weeks here. It's going to be all about abortion all the time.
Sure it is. Absolutely.
It's going to be very different than the Republican, the RNC. Are you guys going to be advertising?
Well, we
during
do.
That. I mean, have you thought about it?
We do a few things that are maybe under the radar, because as you know, here in Illinois, we're called people of deceptive trade practices.
Yeah, right.
Because any place that offers the services that we offer, if you don't also offer abortions, they want to shut you down. So this state and many other states are working very hard to close these places down because they know the impact of an ultrasound. They know the impact of the services that we provide for free. They know, for example, a story of a 16-year-old couple, unmarried, high school sophomores, on their way to get an abortion. She convinced him because she heard we provide free ultrasounds. It won't cost you anything. It will only take a second. We'll keep the appointment. They came in. He wanted nothing to do with it. Ball cap on, head down, cell phone out, with his back to all the action, the machine, what was going on behind him. She saw the baby, eyes filled with tears, doesn't look away from the screen, motions to him and says, "Come look at this. It's amazing." Never looks up. Doesn't break stride with his cell phone. But then the sonographer put the Doppler on the young woman's belly, and the sound of the baby's heartbeat began to resound in the room again. Put his cell phone down, stood up, heard himself say, "That's a baby," and chose life that day. Immediately obvious to the most casual observer.
The telltale heart story there. How about that?
It is.
$28 provides an ultrasound for one woman. That's all it takes to save the life of a baby. $28 can give a mother who's abortion-minded the chance to see the truth of the baby that's growing inside her, as Scott was just mentioning, a real-life anecdote. $140, you can do that for 5 moms and their babies. $15,000 if you have the means. And you can, that's the cost to purchase a ultrasound machine, and that means saving the lives of thousands of babies for years to come, of course, the life of the machine. So regardless of what you're able to do, don't wait, because as Scott said, today is the last day of our campaign with PreBorn. To support PreBorn, give a gift of one of those numbers or whatever you can afford. Just go to 560theanswer.com/preborn, 560theanswer.com/preborn, one word, 560theanswer.com/PREBORN, or call the number 833-850-BABY. That's 833-850-2229. Scott Wilder, spokesman for PreBorn, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
It's a great pleasure. Thanks.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
Your show keeps me alive during the week. There's nobody I'd rather listen to between 5 and 9 in the morning than you guys.
On AM 560, The Answer.
Do you just grin and bear it or bite the bullet when it comes to everyday pain? Don't. Try Relief Factor, a drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. It's 100% drug-free, it's developed by doctors. In 3 weeks or less, you'll know whether it works for you like it works for me. Try Relief Factor for yourself. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Progressive knows when you own a boat, life on land is a tough sell.
Come on down to Land, where you can do things like clean your gutters, pay tolls, and even get the wrong thing you ordered. We got it all. Potholes, people